Hi everyone, today we are going to start our course Surface Embellishment. In today's lecture, I am going to say you about the topics of the subject which we are going to see in the upcoming classes. Before entering into the outline of the topics which we are going to cover for the subjects, let me say you what is surface embellishment. You may think the topic name is very different what it may be. Coming to the topic definition, surface embellishment is nothing but giving extra value to the fabric which we are using, or it may be called as adding aesthetic values for the fabrics or the materials which we are using in our day-to-day life. And also you may think what is aesthetics. It is nothing but adding beauty to the fabric, adding extra value to the fabric. That is what surface embellishment. And for understanding this topic name, let me give you an example. If you visualize a kameez which is used by day-to-day life without any embellishment, or like embroidery, printing, painting, whatever it may be, the sample is plain without any embellishment, it looks very empty. That is what plain fabric without any embellishment. And if you visualize any image with grand work like sequins or embroidery or any painting or any printing techniques, any kind of this techniques can be found in any sample that looks very beauty, adds value to the fabric, it increases the value of the fabric, it adds beauty and also adds value to the fabric which we are using. That is what you can visualize and see what is I'm coming to say about surface embellishment. And coming to the outline of the subject, in the first unit we are going to cover about the introduction for surface embellishment. Here we are going to discuss in detail about the introduction, what is surface embellishment, definition of surface embellishment, and why we are going for surface embellishment, and the materials which we want to use for doing this embellishment works, and what are the other ornamentation techniques which can be followed to do the surface embellishment. Coming to the need of the surface embellishment, we are going to cover why it is necessary in today's day-to-day life, what is the customers or the public view about the surface embellishment, why we are going for it. That is what we are going to cover on that unit. And coming to the second unit, we are going to see entirely about the hand embroidery techniques, different types of hand embroidery stitches which we are using in our materials which we are using in our day-to-day life. And before entering into the different stitches that is done by hand, we have to know the general rules which we want to follow while doing this hand embroidery stitches. That is what do's and don'ts. It is very important before starting your embroidery work. You have to know what are the things to be brought, what are the things we have to keep in mind while starting an embroidery, what are the do's and don'ts we have to consider before starting our embroidery work. And by knowing that, you will be able to understand and feel comfortable to start with your embroidery work. And in second unit, we are going to cover many hand embroidery stitches which may include running stitches, buttonhole stitches, chain stitches, satin, seed, then lot more is available. We are going to see one by one how I will demonstrate you people how each and every stitch has to be done in a practical manner. And the main thing what we will learn in this second unit along with the hand embroidery stitches is the thread selection, the needle selection, the design selection, what are the stitch you are going to prefer for the embroidery which you have chosen. That is also will be covered in this second unit. Coming to the selection process, it is entirely your own work, your own creativity of selecting the designs which is maybe according to your requirement. For example, you may think You can take the embroidery stitches for salwars. You may think you can take the embroidery for blouses, which is very popular in today's day-to-day life, which are most preferred by women to be fashionable. That is what we are going to see in our second unit. And coming to the third unit, it is entirely machine embroidery. For machine embroidery also, you have to know the do's and don'ts which you have to keep in mind while starting a machine embroidery. As the machine embroidery name itself implies, we are going to do the embroidery by means of machine. We have to know the general procedures of using the machines before starting the embroidery work, and the frame settings and the thread selections, the fabric selections, whatever the things you have kept in mind for doing hand embroidery, it also comes for the machine embroidery also. The only thing is you have to know how to control the machine and how to keep ready the machine parts to start your embroidery work at machine. And in machines we may have computerized embroidery machines where we are supposed to use different softwares to digitalize our embroidery, and we have separate embroidery machines to bring out the embroidery. And coming to the fourth unit, we are going to see about the different ornamentation techniques of surface embellishment. As I said you earlier, embroidery is not only the thing which is used to embellish our garment or the material which we are using. It is all about different methods that are used, like printing, painting. This have different subdivisions, and we can adopt a different tie and dye techniques, batik techniques, all comes into the printing, and we have painting techniques also. This all put together can be used as in surface ornamentation techniques that can be preferred to embellish our materials. And that is what mainly we are going to see in our fourth unit. And coming to the fifth unit, we are going to discuss in detail about the traditional embroideries of India. You may feel it is very interesting to know the different states having different embroidery designs, different techniques of doing the embroideries, the thread they choose, the design they choose, and the motifs they prefer, why they are preferring. There may be a story behind each embroideries of states of different one. That is a different and unique experience you might have learned in the upcoming fifth unit, where different states have different embroideries. As I said, they used to prefer designs in particular. In the previous units like hand embroidery and machine embroidery, you can choose your own designs. For using in machine embroidery, you may feed the design what you want, or in hand embroidery you may create your own designs to do the embellishment. But coming to the fifth unit, where we are going to see the traditional embroideries, there is a story behind why we have to choose this kind of designs. Every state has its own designs that needs to be selected, and the threads they have in particular, we are supposed to choose the threads which they are given. That is what the speciality of learning the traditional embroideries of India. You will come to know what are the embroideries they have used in different states, what are the threads they have preferred, why they are preferring like that, why they have chosen motifs like that. That you can learn from the fifth lecture. And also you are going to cover about the care and maintenance of surface embellishment materials, because in throughout fourth units we have learned about the different embroidery techniques, hand embroidery, machine embroidery, ornamentation, and why we are going for embellishment, why we are using designs, why we are embellishing the materials, what is the need for going that, what are the materials we are preferring for that. That is what we are seeing from first unit till fourth unit. But coming to the end of the fifth unit, you have to learn what are the care we have to take of embroidery articles. While ironing, what are the things you have to keep in mind. While washing, what are the things we have to know while doing washing, ironing. and much more. These are the things which we are going to see for the entire surface embellishment, for the surface embellishment course. From the next lecture, we'll start with the first unit in detail.